an actual football video on this channel. It's been a while. It's been a long time coming. Hey, but football season is back. The Eagles season is back once again. And they played their first game, ended maybe a half hour or so ago. The Eagles, they beat the Washington Redskins by a score, 32-27. That first half, kind of want to forget about it, but it was very bad. The first half was very bad. But the Eagles rebounded off of a terrible first half, and they come out of the second half knocking. Score, I think, like 20, 29 unanswered points. Just really came out Washington after the first half ended into that third quarter. The offense woke up, the defense woke up. Just everything that was going wrong in the first half went right in the second half. And the Eagles, they showed a quick memory right there, going transitioning into the other half, and managed to win this football game. So, and before this thing, you get to see the tailgates, all the fans going crazy, nuts that the regular season's finally back. Eagles have a lot of Super Bowl expectations this season. Basically, everyone's saying Super Bowl or bust. And yeah, you get to see all the fan bases just celebrating on their tailgates, and you also get to see one of the Sixers players, Mike Scott, in his Washington Redskins uniform, beating up a couple of Eagles fans because I guess they decided to attack him. Just kind of funny altercation right there. Not going to complain about that much. It's pretty funny to be honest. Get to see Mike Scott fighting a couple of Eagles fans. Hey, he's not afraid to do it. He says it. He's a very comical person on Twitter. He's very likable throughout the Philadelphia fan base. He gets to fight a couple of Philadelphia fans. Why not? We kind of should have expected that with Mike Scott, but back to the football game at hand. All the players being announced onto the field, and the biggest standing ovation was for DeSean Jackson being in Philadelphia for the first time in a long time. And a lot of expectations with now DeSean Jackson in the lineup. Just the fan base giving him that loud standing ovation for him coming onto the field. And hey, he loves playing in the city of Philadelphia. He never wanted to leave in the first place, but Chip Kelly decided to trade him. But he's back. He loves it here. And he had a really big game in that second half. Well, not in the second half. He had a big game overall. One of the main reasons we won this game. So, we discussed this first half and how sloppy it was. Oh boy. Just defensively, offensively, didn't seem to get anything going. And we kind of maybe should have expected this, just the rust, the sloppiness. Just because not many of the starters on the field today played in preseason. Guys like Carson Wentz, Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffery, DeSean Jackson. Just not many people played in the preseason. And you're going to get that rust coming into the first game of the season. You should not expect the Eagles to come out just knocking the gates off immediately. You should expect a little bit of some rust. But to that extent, Washington just came out of the gates running. Oh my goodness. Washington just pounded our defense throughout that first half. Our offense really couldn't do anything, get anything going. Seemed like defensively, when we get the Redskins to a third down, they would always seem to at least convert it. And Case Keenum, their quarterback, had a first half to remember. It was probably his best first half in his career. Had, I think, like 250 plus yards that first half. So, yeah, a first half to remember for the Washington Redskins, but then a second half to forget. So, yeah, first quarter, Washington, I think, like, had 10 plus minutes of possession time. Eagles had, like, I think around maybe 4 plus minutes. And Davis for the Redskins, he manages to get a ball, and he hops over a couple defenders to get in for a touchdown. And the second drive of the game for the Redskins, they do get a field goal to make it 10-0. And it feels like the pass defense for the Eagles, like it was last season, just felt very invisible in this game. Just entirely defensive wise, we just couldn't get that big stop throughout that first quarter. And it kind of did continue into the second quarter when we did, I would guess, sort of kind of wake up a little bit near the end of it. We do get a chance to get to the red zone in the beginning of the second quarter. We have a 4th-and-2 chance. It's in field goal range, without a doubt. But we all know Doug Peterson loves to go for it on 4th down, and he decides to go for it on 4th-and-2, misses. And took away a chance to get 3 points right there off the field goal. You decide to go for it on 4th down. And it's just like, my choice, I would have gone with the field goal. Get your team on the board, get a couple points on there just to wake your team up a little bit. But you miss on the 4th down. In the very next drive for the Washington Redskins, Keenum just tosses a long drive to McLaurin for a touchdown, and it turns into 17-0 Redskins after that. Yeah, Just players left wide open throughout the entire first half. The pass defense, like I said, for the Eagles was very non-existent. Our guys on offense, Carson Wentz is looking very sloppy. Just some passes just missing players, just not getting the right reads, and some plays were just very questionable. It's just like not a very productive first half, but going near the end of the second quarter, we do manage to get a touchdown. Carson Wentz on a third down just throws a 50, well, not a 51 yarder. He throws a catch, long drive to DeSean Jackson, 51 yarder touchdown to make it 17-7. And Eagles waking up right from there. But the Washington Redskins, they do get a field goal to end the half, so it's 20-7 after the first half. But that play right there by Wentz to DeSean Jackson, probably going to expect a lot of those kinds of plays this season, because it did happen once again once we got into the second half. The first possession of the quarter in the third quarter goes around 7 minutes for the Eagles, and it's Wentz to Jeffery to make it 20-14. And you look like the Eagles right there. It looks like they're starting to creep back up. They're starting to get their legs moving, just waking up, and the Eagles just overall look like the better team coming out of the half. They get a couple stops there. The next drive for the Redskins, they go 3 and out. And then the very next drive for the Eagles, it's Wentz to Jackson on another very long toss. I think it was 53 plus yards. Make it 21-20. And like I said, just Eagles look like the better team. Just defensively wise, getting all the stops that we need. And offensively wise, we're starting to convert more on third down, something that we struggled with in the first half. It just looked like I said earlier, everything that went wrong in the first half went right in the second half. And we all know the Eagles were the more talented team, the more talented roster than the Washington Redskins, and that showed up once the third quarter started. And like I said, rust just really played into effect right there. And also going to the end of the third quarter, the Eagles do catch a big break because Keenum did find McLaurin for another long toss, but Keenum just overthrew him by maybe like a couple yards. And the Eagles do get a big break out of that because it becomes a 3 and out right after that play. So we get the ball back. Wentz gets it to Ertz, almost near the end zone. He gets it to Ertz for I'm screwing up my words a little bit right there. He gets a good amount of yardage right there, big yards to get it near the end zone, and that's where the third quarter ends. But we do open the first play in the fourth quarter with a touchdown by Alshon Jeffery. And what do you know? Doug Peterson wants to go for the 2-point conversion, and we do. Darren Sproles gets a 2-point conversion, and it makes it 29-20 right there. And like defense shutting down Washington once again, and drawing near the end of the fourth quarter, we do to get a field goal to make it 32-20. And then you get the Redskins trying to scramble up plays just to probably get it within a couple points, maybe get an onside kick. They do manage to get a touchdown. Quinn makes it 32-27. They get the field goal. And they try to do the onside kick at the end of the game, but to no avail, the Eagles get the onside kick. And that's where your ball game ends. Oof. Just that first half alone, it's just like that's where at first everyone was giving up for that first half because that's how bad it was. But once we saw that touchdown to DeSean Jackson, that's when we sort of started to wake up a little bit. That's when we started to wake up. We got our legs moving, and after that first half, we clean slate, just wiped the slate clean, come out in that second half and just destroyed, played up to expectations like we were supposed to in this game because we were the 10-point favorite against the Washington Redskins, and we showed them that we're the better team, and we overcame that adversity of being down by a lot early in this ball game. So it's a very nice comeback by the Eagles. There's a couple stat lines from the rest of the team. Carson Wentz goes 28 for 39, gets 313 yards. Very sloppy beginning for Carson Wentz as much as the rest of the team, but he really picked up the pace going down the rest of the game, completing a lot of passes, a lot of those big touchdown plays to DeSean Jackson, Alshon Jeffery. Just Carson Wentz, after being sloppy in that first half, just picked it up after that, right around that second quarter. He really picked up the pace and was one of the main reasons we won this ball game. DeSean Jackson gets, I think, at least like 8 or 9 receptions, gets 154 total yards and 2 touchdowns, both of his touchdowns being 51 plus yards. So yeah, expect a lot of those big plays from Carson Wentz and DeSean Jackson now that we have that speedy wide receiver to break the defense, because That's going to be very huge for the Eagles going down the rest of the stretch of the season. You also got Alshon Jeffery getting 2 touchdowns right there. Darren Sproles getting that 2-point conversion. Very widespread use of the running backs today. Howard, Sproles. Yeah, just very nice, even use of them. And yeah, the Eagles' second half looked very good in this ball game. And hey, just wipe that slate clean out of a terrible first half. Oof. Just want to erase that from your mind because you actually can, because we won this ball game. What do you know? And just a little notes from why I haven't been making videos the past couple of days. This mic that I'm using right here, it's not that good. It's kind of wearing out. And that's why I really haven't been making videos, just because I ordered a new mic. It's supposed to come here tomorrow. So once I get that mic all set up, it's a snowball mic, and I'm going to make more videos consistently when I get the new mic. So definitely, I just didn't want to miss the first game of the Eagles because of how that ball game went, and just because it was the first game of the Eagles. So yeah, and just the way the Phillies have been playing really haven't motivated me to watch them that much. But still, going to be very more consistent going down the stretch now that I have the new mic. The podcast episode, it's going to be up soon, hopefully. But that's a whole other story. But hey, Eagles won their first game of the season. They're 1-0. And very looking forward to watching each and every game down the stretch, because it's going to be a very exciting season with this Eagles team. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this game? What are you guys' thoughts on DeSean Jackson's first game back with the Eagles? Thoughts on that very sloppy first half? And thoughts on the team picking up the pace going down the rest of the game? Just fighting through that adversity of being down by a lot early on. So, don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video.